Call to order the City Council work session for City of East Grand Forks, Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. Is now 5 o'clock. City Administrator, please call roll.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olstad.
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Riedefeld.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Fetter.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Mark Demers.
Present.
Brian Larson.
Here.
Does term quorum. Number 1, consider final approval of the Sacred Heart Edition. Ms. Ellis.
Good evening, council members, mayor. Here tonight with the final plat of the Sacred Heart Edition, which is a corner piece where the old water tower sat on the corner of Central Avenue and 4th. This property was sold to Sacred Heart a few years ago with the intention that they were going to put some parking on it. One of the conditions of the sale was that they would replat the property to vacate a portion of the right-of-way that is no longer used after the reconfiguration of 4th, and then to add the utility easements on the plat. I did not include, but have handed out a written utility easement that has the legal description on it and then basically states that they're intending on putting a parking lot. However, if we need to go in and repair any utilities, fix, do any types of replacement, that any of that work would be at the cost of Sacred Heart to put the parking lot back in. So if we do the work would be our responsibility, but then they would be responsible to restore that easement area and the parking lot. So does anyone have any questions?
Does anybody have anything tonight? Mr. Helms.
Just one. I don't see one, but there will be no driveway heading out to 4th Street off of this parking lot, right?
None off of 4th. Nope.
Okay.
And 4th is that's under MnDOT control, so then MnDOT would grant them the access, which they will not.
Okay, I didn't see one, but that's all I had. Thanks.
So right now, we're kind of in question between Central or the private, that private road, because Central Avenue does have access control on it as well, but they lose a number of parking spaces, so it may be something as simple as one way through, right turnout only, something like that. So it'll be discussed further on once we get the parking lot design.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? No.
All right,
Thank
you.
ma'am. Move on to number 2, request for Blue Line Club to rent VFW Arena in September. Reid.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President, council members. The last couple of falls, the Blue Line Club has rented ice at the VFW Arena in the month of September to run a fall development camp. They've requested to do so again this year. So with approval of this rental agreement, we would have ice ready for them to skate on by, we'd have it ready for sure by Monday, September 13th, but their camp is planned to start on the 14th on a Tuesday. And then the city would kind of assume or take back control of the ice on October 9th. So we wouldn't have to take the ice out in this case. We'd basically just have it rented to them for the first few weeks and then assume our regular season activity in October.
Do you have anything for Reid? I see none, sir. Number 3, request for arena rental for 2021 Arts and Crafts Show. Reid.
All right, thank you again. The Arts and Crafts Show is planning on being held again this year, looking at the weekend of October 2nd and 3rd. They would like to use both the Civic Center and the Blue Line arenas to hold the event, and at a proposed rental rate for this event, I've raised it. It's been $200 a day historically for as long as I can remember. I've raised it to $250. That helps cover the cost of our employees a little better with some of the minimum wage increases we've had for part-time labor on that weekend. But with that, I would just propose that we approve both of those facilities for the 3 days, Friday for setup and then the event Saturday and Sunday.
Anybody else? Anybody have any questions for Reid at all? All right, thank you, sir. Number 4, request to advertise for Parks team lead position. Reid.
All right, thank you again. We've been notified by one of our employees that they are taking a job for another community. So we will have a position open to fill, and I just request that we'd be able to advertise for that after approval at the next meeting and get an advertisement out as soon as possible to initiate that process. The employee that's leaving us is planning on leaving the Friday before Labor Day, so no matter what, we'll have a stretch where we'll be down one employee as we head right into ice season, so hoping we can get this process started as soon as possible.
Do you have any questions? Mr. Helms?
This one, Reid, are you going to look internally on this thing first if you have somebody, or are you just going to open it up to, I don't know how the system
Yeah.
works, if you can just do that or if you have to.
We can just, I think, we can just advertise it externally right away if we choose to, and then internal applicants would have the same opportunity to apply at that time and go through the same process. That's what I would like to do in this case. We do have a couple of potential internal applicants, but I think just to expedite the process, I'd like to be able to just advertise it all internal and external at the same time.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All righty. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
See, we have, well, if I could just toss in just a couple quick things. I know we don't have usually reports at this, but there's just a lot coming up. Particularly like the Law Enforcement 1078 5K this coming weekend on Saturday. 1078 means officer needs assistance. And when I think of all that our police officers and our sheriff's office do for us, it's nice when we can step up and show some support. If you want to run, that's great. If you want to make a donation, that's great. But it's a really good cause, and it does go to their individual organizations that support the police officers themselves. And then they can turn around and donate the money or help an officer that, maybe has a need that you wouldn't need to talk about publicly, but these organizations can step up and meet that need. And of course, Heritage Days this weekend and Rockin' Up North the following weekend after that. A lot of great things coming up. And anybody that wants to learn more about those, if the media want to reach out to any one of us that are involved, probably call Dale about anything related to Heritage Days.
Mm-hmm.
Chief Hedlund would gladly talk some more, I think, about this 5K. And a lot of good things coming up. Summer kind of comes to a nice head with these events that are coming up. Let's get out and enjoy them. Thanks.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
See, we have a,
I'll talk to Lefty when we're done here.
Okay.
I'll tell him when he can come back.
Mr. Gilliland.
Yep.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, sir. There's a motion. And there's a second by Mr. Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried, means adjourned.